So about a month ago, Liveview sent me the newest camera, but as you all know, my arm was too bad to actually do any practice, but now I think I can finally put it to work. All right, you guys well know I've been a user, practitioner, ambassador for Liveview since hooking up with them at the PGA show of last year on the first model of the Liveview camera. Then the Liveview Plus came out later in the summer. Now we've got Liveview Pro. So just kind of a few new tweaks to this. It's really better for indoor practice, which a lot of people, I guess, were using it. They've just worked on the camera to it to make it bring in a little bit more light indoors, and it has a built-in wide angle camera as well. I'm excited to use it. I don't need to, the new bells and whistles are really kind of lost on me because I love what this thing does. But what's really exciting is Luke Donald, I guess, got wind of this last year and started using it, and he was using it massively to help him battle through his injury and make sure his swing was staying on point when he was able to start practicing again. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, I've been able to start hitting balls, but it's very easy with a compromised limb, in this case, to be compromising your technique. So being able to bust this open now that I can make 3/4 golf swings, I can make sure, I'm staying on plane, I'm not cheating, I'm not tilting, all the things that Dan and I work on, I can watch myself do them in real time while I'm doing them. So that's why this is going to be a huge key in my recovery, my return, my comeback, if you will. But yeah, let's test this out, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about it, how you can get it discounted, free shipping, all that good stuff. So let's put it to work. I've recorded my swing. I've drawn some lines onto the screen, which you're gonna see, so I can check. Especially because of this arm, the fact that I can only get it about 3/4 of the way up, I want to make sure I'm not cheating and going away from being sore and keeping it way too deep so the club is getting stuck behind me. I want to make sure I'm keeping that club on plane going back, and then it shallows as I come down. So I've drawn a line for the plane to go back, and then I've drawn a line for basically from the club down to the ball to make sure that club shallows as I go down. So I do rehearsals, get it to the top, and especially because I can't really swing at full speed, this is really good for me because I can slow speed get it to the top to rehearse what I need to rehearse, and then I just do kind of 60% speed, which is all I can do right now, and give it a hit. And 3, 4, 5 rehearsals before pulling the trigger with the lines guiding me, it's you just really get that feel for what the club needs to be doing. And then I can put the camera face on, and I put a line for my shoulders and a line for the club parallel to the ground, so I make sure I'm not kind of tilting up in transition and through impact, which is where I'll be flipping it. I want to make sure I'm staying kind of, you see in the camera here, level, and then that is parallel to that, boom. But I can do that. I can put the camera this way, just like how this camera is, draw the lines on my phone, and get to work. So take it back, Make sure I'm on plane. Cool, I am. And just let that club, body move it first, and just let the club kind of fall and shallow naturally. Yeah, I can't swing at full speed or anything, so I'm not concerned about the strike, or I might hit a few thin, because yeah, I am a little tentative still. It does hurt a little bit. All right, now that I've kind of walked you through how I go about using this, I'm gonna keep using it, but I wanna talk about, like I said at the beginning, Liveview has certainly been really awesome for the continuing of my career on and off the golf course, and they always wanna give back to my awesome viewers. So they do offer $40 off and free shipping with my code, which is linked below, AJFS. It's all linked below. But I want to talk a little bit about some of the criticisms that I get towards this. Some people say, oh, 60 frames per second, that's so slow in frames. It's too fast. We want to look at golf swings in slow motion, 120 frames per second, 240 frames per second. I know my frames per second. I make videos. 120 frames per second, 240 frames per second. Yeah, that is great for slow motion if you're gonna film it in that and then look at it afterwards. The fact that this streams with no delay from a camera to your phone, you can't stream at that speed. Even go try to watch a YouTube video, and if it were streaming at 120 frames per second, it would look like garbage. So people say, oh, you need slow motion to work on your golf swing. That's not gonna exist for some time. Like that technology, you need an incredible camera, red quality camera, thousands of dollars quality camera that can handle the heat and processing to send to your phone or to your iPad to process at that speed. So for the people that say, oh, it's not slow enough, I don't think you understand how live streaming works. And people say, oh, you can just hook up an iPad to a phone and FaceTime yourself. There's gonna be delay. My camera, I can control it from my phone. When I do, if I have it here and I wanna control a photo or the exposure or whatever, there's like a half-second delay. So there's no getting around that. So for the people on the comments sometimes or in the message boards that I've read or that they link, that's kind of why you can't stream at that speed. And if you want to FaceTime yourself from iPad to phone, go ahead. Whatever you want. Like, this is a great idea. It's an amazing product, and there are DIY ways. But even if I used this incredible camera with crispy 120 frames per second, and I used my camera app, the Canon Connect app, the delay would be like I'm here in reality and I'm still at address on the phone. So there's no getting around it. And the fact that this is now 60 frames per second, the image is really crisp. I remember the first incarnation of it, it was still kind of like security cam footage, but the team at Liveview, they keep progressing and they're doing an incredible job. And this image, I'm an image snob when it comes to video. This image is really good. I'm really impressed with that. So I'll leave it at that, but I think hopefully that silences the questions or the criticisms as to why it's only 60 frames per second and the notion of live streaming. Some of you watch live streams where I've hooked up the camera, I've hooked this up to Wi-Fi to live stream it, and the quality still isn't wow. Like live streaming, even a live feed is really, really heavy when it comes to processing. So for 60 frames per second, for how good that looks and being able to see it as it happens, it's money. I really love it. So yeah, that's my spiel. I hope you guys enjoyed this little short review, concise talk about how I'm using the Liveview to get myself on track as this heals. Maybe a couple more weeks till I can really go at a fuller speed and be in less pain. Because even just 1 week of physio, I've gained probably 10 to 20 degrees of mobility. So that is huge. That's really encouraging. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And like I said, if you want to get a Liveview, it is linked all below. And I know they have a trade up program if you have some of the older ones, if you had the Plus or the original. They really want to keep you guys around and be grateful and thankful for your loyalty if you want. So yeah, check it all out below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.